Hi everyone, this is Miss Jennings. I wanted to make a video on how to primarily highlight on the STAAR test when you're taking it online in a couple of weeks. I know a lot of you had questions about this and I wanted to clear it up. I'm going to show you lots of examples, and I'm also going to lightly touch on a couple of other types of tools that Mr. Wade has already taught you or talked to you about in a video, but I'm just going to wrap it all up and you guys practice. Maybe this weekend I'll send maybe I will send something to you guys to practice with on the practice test, and that way you can practice and you'll feel comfortable. Okay. So we have our beginning of our test. I'm pretending that I'm a student and I am in the STAAR reading test, and the first passage shows up, and guess what it is? It has a picture and it has characters. So that means it is a play. So I know from being in Miss Jennings' class that I need to make sure that I am highlighting the text features. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be a play, and normally plays are fiction, and this one is no different. It just has it has a real life map in it. Don't let that confuse you. Remember, there's always a problem to the story. There might be a little tall tale in there, and those are all fiction. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is, and let me put myself over here on the right-hand side so I don't cover it up. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to highlight the title. So what you do is you click into the word that you want to type and you drag it in blue. It's always going to be dragging in blue. Then you go up to the hamburger or the three lines with the little cursor going down, and then it says highlight section. Then you choose which color. You've got yellow, orange, mint green, or lavender. I'm going to go with the text features in purple lavender. And then it sticks. Okay. Now, unfortunately, on the maps, it's not allowing you right now to dig into and highlight over in blue, but you'll just have to make sure that you always ask questions, like on your piece of paper that you're going to ask for in the STAAR. You're going to have paper and pencil. Please ask for it. They will give it to you. You can say for number 1, or you can say whatever you want. You can say there's a map in there and I need to pay attention. So I'm going to look at the map and it's going to say El Paso. Then it's going to say Big Bend National Park. Then it's going to say Rio Grande River and Austin. So now I'm going to go down to the characters, and I'm just going to highlight the characters part, highlight it in blue, drag it over in blue, and then you go to your color that you want and it sticks, purple. Then we go to the scenes and we drag it in blue, and then we go over to the purple. Then you can go down to the next scene, which is scene 2. Click and drag it into, as it is blue, go up to your highlight section and pick the color, and it sticks. Okay. Now I'm going to go to scene 3. You drag it over in blue, go to your hamburger, 3 lines at the top, and you pick which one you want, and it sticks. Now, obviously, you're going to go through and you're going to highlight all of the numbers. You can also highlight the stage directions if you would like. You can also highlight anything that is if there's a bolded word or an underlined word, you can also check that out as well. Okay. So we've read through, so make sure that you read the entire passage. Remember, I'm not giving you information based on to skip over reading. We're just showing you how to highlight it. Okay. So you're going to go get your highlighter ready. And every time you read, you can highlight as you go. Like if there's something really special about paragraph 2, you could highlight the narrator talking, and then you can go up to your hamburger and pick yellow. And that way the narrator will stick out at you. If you want to highlight the stage directions in a different color, you can go to your hamburger, you highlight it in blue, then you go to your hamburger, your 3 lines, and you pick the color that you want it and it'll stick. Okay. Now, this hamburger, 3-line hamburger circle, this is the one for the passage. There's 2 hamburgers. Okay. This one on this side is for the passage and the maps and the captions and all that. Okay. There's a hamburger over here on the right-hand side that is just for the questions, that kind of thing, and the answer choices. Okay. So you have 2 hamburgers that do the same thing when it comes to highlighting. Okay. So let's pretend that we've highlighted everything in our story. We have read it 2 times. We have gone over and kind of taken a peek at the questions so you know what you're looking for. We have gone to each paragraph and we are going to chunk it. Who is it about? Where is it? This says Big Ben, so that answers a question. You can put your chunking answers for who, what, who, when, where, why, and who, what, where, when, and why. You can do those all in orange. You can use different colors for different things. Just write it down in your piece of paper so you don't forget. Okay, so this is during STAAR. Okay, so we're just showing you how to highlight, right? So you are definitely need to make sure that after you're highlighting while you're reading, make sure in your brain you're talking like the narrator. Make sure in your brain you're talking like the cowboy, the husband, the wife. Do they sound different in your head? Make sure that you kind of act it out in your head and it will help. Okay. So we're just showing the highlighting. You know that you need to go through the entire passage and highlight the features because this is a fiction, and just make sure that you are highlighting appropriately. You don't have to highlight everything. Just highlight the important parts for your chunking. Okay. Now let's say we're ready to go to question number 1, and I see my highlighting hamburger circle over here on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and drag over author and go over in blue. I highlighted in blue and I go over to the highlight section and I do it yellow. Then I do map of Texas because it's telling me to go to the map of Texas. So I need to highlight that in blue, then go over to highlight section, and you can pick your yellow and it sticks. So that way those 3 words stick out at you. Okay. So let's say that you've been through all of the answer choices. You've been through A, you went through B, you went through C, and you read through D. And you have a feeling that you got the right answer because you've already written down your evidence in your sticky pad, your sticky notes. So let's say that you went through all 4, you found your evidence, you highlighted it, made sure that it stood out at you, and then you go back and you do your answer if you have the correct evidence. Please don't guess. Please don't guess. If you know you found the evidence over here and all your evidences are in orange, then please make sure that that is the correct answer. Go through all of the answer choices before you select the correct one. Now we're not done. Your evidence is going to be either written down in your sticky notes on this, I'll show you in a minute, or you're going to highlight it in a different color, or you put your evidence on your notebook paper that you got, or I'm sorry, your paper that you got from the monitors at the test. Now you feel like you have your evidence, you have your answer. Now let's go make sure that we strike through. And we know that B is not it. You click on it. C and D are not it. Okay. Now, if you want to go to the other way, and the way we normally do it is that we read every single one and we go back to check to see if A is right. We go back to see if B is right. We go back and find out if C is right. But guess what? This one is talking about the map of Texas. So the only question that this has is going to involve the answers on the map. Correct. So when you read about the story, it tells about the map of Texas and how it inspired the tall tale that you're reading about in the play. So that the map or whatever you have is very important. You may not be able to highlight on it, but you need to make sure you're asking questions. What is this state of Texas map showing me? What kind of question am I going to have? Well, here it is. Number one. Number one says it's going to be the author includes a map of Texas too. And remember, an author's purpose is either to inform, to entertain you, or to persuade you. Okay. All right, so then you have your answer and you've gone through all of B, C, and D, and you know that B and C and D are not correct. And you have your evidence in a particular color, like orange or lavender. Pick up special color just for your evidence, okay? Then you have your answer, you have your bubble in answer, and then you have your strike through with B, C, and D, okay? But please make sure that you have your evidence before you hit the button that you want. Okay, well, so let's say that you did not know, that you just were tired of looking at this question and you're like, I'm tired of looking at it. So I'm just going to mark it for review, and see that mark for review? That means it will save it for you to go back to, but don't forget. Okay, so mark for review is just so you've spent like 5 minutes on this one question and you just need a break. So mark for review and then go on to number 2. And then at the end of the test, you can go back to the mark for review questions and answer them before you submit. The other one that I want you to look at is the sticky notes. The sticky notes is over here in the hamburger on the right. And you can type in your evidences. You can type in number 1, what you did, the evidence. Excuse me. You can type in anything you want. Just make sure you put the number or you might forget it, okay? So use the sticky notes or your piece of paper to make sure that you are including everything you need to. All right, so then the other thing I want to show you was, of course, the strike through, the reset highlighting. You can reset it if you want to. And then you can also, you can unmark your review item if you don't want to use it, okay? So that is how you use your highlighting and other parts of the tools. We're going to get to practice with this next week. Please make sure that you understand that the highlighting is simply just highlighting in blue. You just drag it in blue, go up to the hamburger, and then pick your color, and it'll stick, okay? And then you do the right-hand side for the questions and inside of the answers, okay? I hope that was fun for you to watch, and I hope you learned something, and we will definitely practice. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day.